And we are back, the GosuGamers Overwatch Weekly North America, in on the winners interview, and we have Coco of IDDQD on the line.
Hello.
What's up, Coco?
Hello. Hey, it's good.
Hello.
It's nice to actually win the game in the end.
That was a great series, man, just in general.
Yeah, it was really close, like, fought to the end.
Yeah, I mean, let me just say, going into that, were you expecting Google Me to give you guys that little fight? I mean, it was looking really good for you guys to start out the series, and Google Me brought it back and then some. I mean, Hanzo?
Yeah, like, we knew they were good, like, we heard they played really well against Envy in scrims. And I haven't seen, like, the last tournaments they played, but yeah, we knew they were good. It was gonna be a tough game, but Hanzo, like, we're not used to play against Hanzo at all. It was a little tricky.
Yeah, it's one of those things where people really haven't seen the value in Hanzo because he doesn't have that much of ability, and generally if people want the pickoffs to go Widow, what was it that made the Hanzo sort of effective in there? Was it just that you guys were unprepared for it, or do you think there's a legitimate place and you're going to have Pluppy or someone to start going to the lab and learning to work him?
Maybe. I'm not sure. They got some really nice picks in the beginnings, and I guess throughout the games. Not sure if they were like super like planned out spots he shot at, or if he just got lucky, like someone on the team whined a little about, like lucky shot killed me. But I don't know. He felt strong.
Well, you guys are getting, throwing some Junkrat spam over walls blindly, so I think luck goes on both sides sometimes, right?
It does. It does.
So last night I asked you if you guys were the best team in Overwatch. I think you might be the best team in Overwatch right now. Who do you think is your biggest competition, and are you kind of set with the roster in IDDQD now, or do you look to make changes like everyone is looking to make changes?
I'm not sure if we're 100% sure on the roster. Pluppy, like, I'm not sure if he's decided yet. But for the rest of the roster, I think we're pretty set.
Yeah, I mean, Puppy, he's sort of been with every team. Can any team really hold claim to him? Will the Overwatch community be the same if he decides to stick with you guys? I don't know. I mean, we're sort of enjoying the drama of Puppy playing for at least 5 teams in any given tournament.
Well, I mean, you guys have won tournaments with Pluppy. I don't know what more you can do to convince him. Do you offer a benefits package, perhaps?
I'm not sure. Maybe next time we win a tournament, we can force Pluppy to give the interview, and you can ask him.
So one thing we saw here today, we saw both teams at times try to run stacked compositions, even as much as 4 Winstons at one point. And it didn't really seem like they had that much effect. Like, they are change-ups. They do sort of set something where maybe they make another play worthwhile. A big topic around the community is duplicate heroes, not duplicate heroes. For me, on the caster point of view, I feel like it adds more excitement to the game when you do have the duplicate heroes, because nothing seems uncounterable right now. Do you agree, or do you like the 1 hero limit that we have seen in some other tournaments thus far?
I think you should allow like as many as you want right now, at least.
Okay.
Like, I don't think any comp being played is specifically overpowered. Like, we screamed a lot against the double Winston, double Reaper, and double Lucio, and we handle it pretty well. Like, I think most teams handle it really well right now. So, like, it's not broken by any means, in my opinion.
Speaking of Double Lucio, you guys ran Double Lucio on defense of King's Row on that last map, and you saw some frustration in the chat from Shore4. He mentioned that, Jesus, that Lucio ult is up all the time. Now, is that something you guys have specifically worked on? Is that a strategy that you look to employ specifically on King's Row, just kind of always having those Lucio ultimates up in every single fight?
I'm not exactly sure why we swapped up, like, running a Zenyatta against Tracer and the split arrows, like, so easily to get picked off. So I don't know. I think Double Lucio was just really stable in that position.
So coming over people are curious about cross-Atlantic play and how stable it is and whatnot. How big of a factor do you think ping was in these games, or do you think that generally speaking both teams handled it well on both sides?
You could definitely feel the ping. It was noticeable the whole game. We actually tried to pick the payload maps to like the most narrow choke points we could, just so we could like contain the fights. Because like on Gibraltar, where there was just these big open spread out fights, we really felt like the ping didn't do us any favors. Not that it may have been what lost us maps, but it was noticeable and it was kind of frustrating at times.
So right now, you'd say even with the live competition, it is an advantage to play on your home turf.
I think so. Like it's sometimes when we play on NA, it feels like it's not very noticeable, but sometimes it is. So I'm not sure if you got lucky with servers or
Well-
exactly what it is, but
Well, every now and then you get sent to Australia, as we saw early in the tournament, so definitely don't want that.
no.
Well, you guys have won a couple tournaments now, and you have no real changes on the roster. So I guess we'll just wait for next week for the next interview to ask you some more questions. You guys look like you're a dominant force, and there doesn't seem to be anyone who can stop you. Who do you think right now, just as far as teams, and they don't have to be a specific order or rankings, but who do you think right now is your biggest competition in Overwatch?
I'm not super sure about the American teams. We have played Envy in scrims a lot, and we met Google Me now. But in Europe, I feel Reunited for sure. They're always really hard to play against.
Man after my own heart. All right, ZP, you got any more questions?
You know what? I think on a normal day I would, but I am totally spent. That was a ridiculous series. Congratulations to Coco, both you and the entire IDD QD squad. You guys deserve it. You took both weeklies, and can't wait to see what comes from you guys in the future.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, Hex,